What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode of New Parents in Training. So today I'm going to share with you 5 tips and tricks how to get your infant baby to start crawling. So our kid has been crawling for over 2 months now. He crawls everywhere inside the house. So I want to share with you our experience with our babies crawling, and hopefully you will learn something new here. So a disclaimer, I am not in the medical field. Today's video is strictly just my own experience with my kid, and hopefully you will learn something new. If you find this video to be interesting, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Alright, so let's get started. Tip number 1, tummy time. It is extremely important to do tummy time. Tummy time will help strengthen baby's muscle, especially the back, the limbs, the neck as well. So for us, we know from the get-go that he needs tummy time, but more so after he had his tongue tie surgery. And after we have done the surgery, the doctor suggests us to help our baby to do certain type of tummy time, and not just using a bobby and prop up the baby so he can kind of sit up or have his head up. Those are the normal ones. But one technique that he showed us that we didn't know about before, I'm gonna use Elmo here as a prop. Our baby likes to kick from very early age, and after the surgery, the doctor told us that put him onto the bed and put your forearm right behind his legs. So when our baby is doing the kicking motion, what I was told to do is put the forearm here, and so when baby kick, he will move forward, and so would my arm. We were doing this throughout the day when we're doing the tummy time. Usually it takes about like 2 minutes. So what I end up doing is our bed, we will go from one end to the other end, do it twice every time. So our baby didn't like tummy time at all from the get-go. It took us a very long time to have him to get used to it. It was a struggle from the beginning, but this kind of helped him to get a feel and a motion of crawling. And other type of tummy time that we have the baby to do is to just prop him up on Bobby or Snuggle Me, so that way the baby can be not just lying down on his back the whole day. So when he's able to lift his head up on the floor mat, so that way he'll be able to exercise his neck muscle a lot more, and also his back muscle. This is very important for baby to start noticing his own body. It will help the baby to start having the crawling motion, and even later on with the walking motion as well. All right, tip number 2, to have enough space in your home to have the baby to do crawling. It's extremely important for us to baby-proof the house. So we have all the sockets filled and all the sharp edges being covered. So that way when the baby is crawling around, granted, we still have to watch him. It's not like we baby-proof the house and just let the baby rolling around by himself. With the house being baby-proof, then there are less things for us to worry about. So we just have to kind of guide him along the way and make sure that he's not touching something that he's not supposed to. If you haven't checked out my previous videos, we have blocked off the stairs, so that way there's no way for him to crawl downstairs just in case something will happen. And also we have set up an area for a playpen. Now if you don't know playpen, that thing comes really helpful. A lot of times I have to do chores like washing dishes or cleaning stuff, cooking and things of that sort. So when the baby is awake, what I end up doing is put the baby inside the playpen, so that way I know for sure that he's in a designated area that he cannot get out for a short period of time. He can play in there and just crawl around and play with toys and so on and so forth. And that allowed me the time to do some of the stuff that I am unable to do previously. So yeah, make sure that you have enough room that's designated for the baby. For some family that have limited space at home, well, you can still play around with the baby in your bed. That's one of the way we get the baby to do tummy time, the pushing one. We didn't have him to do it on the floor. We have him to do it on the bed because bed is much softer than the ground itself. Regardless, you just need to have some space for the baby to crawl around. It might be hard for some people, but bed, couches, those will be a perfectly fine example for the baby to do the crawling on. Tip number 3, to kind of lure the baby to do the crawling. We've been doing that with toys, tablet, and if you have a mirror at home, that will be even better. So what we end up doing is we kind of set ourselves from a distance, and we have his favorite toy to kind of lure him to having to crawl over to us. And that proven to be extremely helpful. For some reason, our kid loves electronic, even though he doesn't know what it is, but for some reason, like the shininess or the screen itself just kind of attract him naturally. We don't have a floor mirror. If we have one, that would be even better. But I normally use my tablet, a 10-inch tablet, to kind of using the front camera, kind of show the whole entire screen that his face. So when he see his face, he usually just start crawling over because he's like looking at himself from a distance. So yeah, if you have a mirror at home, that will work just as the same. So I found that technique to be very good to use, especially to kind of lure the baby to get his interest to come and start crawling toward me. Tip number 4, encouragement. So yeah, even though the baby might not understand what you're saying, your facial expression said it all. So what we do is we always laugh, we always do hand gestures to kind of encourage him along. Our baby like to clap his hands. He learned that from us. So what we end up doing is every time he does something that's unique or new or something that we want him to continue to do, we'll clap our hands too. So the baby will get the idea that, oh, anything that's good, he clap his hands. When he crawls, yeah, we clap our hands a lot. So that kind of encourage him to continue on to crawl. Sometimes our baby will get tired. He will crawl for a little bit and then he stop. And even then, we will just kind of lay alongside him. And when he's ready, we might crawl with him as well. So whatever you want to do in terms of encouragement, yeah, do so. And words of affirmation would help as well. Granted, even though the baby doesn't understand what you're saying, I'm pretty sure he can tell from your facial expression. For us, that works really, really well. Tip number 5, have fun doing it. So yeah, when the baby is crawling, for us as parents, we love it. We love watching him crawl, and a lot of times we want to be part of it as well. So what we end up doing is my wife loves to play peekaboo with him. We tend to hide around the corners, so then we have our hands sticking out, so the baby will see our hand, will start crawling over, and then when he's about to get around the corner, we pop our head and we'll start laughing. Yeah, we have a lot of fun to engage him that way. Now, for me personally, yes, I kind of play hide and seek with him as well, but my favorite tool to go to is the air pump for the yoga ball. Every time I pump air in front of his face, he started to run the other way. So that became like a cop and robber situation. I start chasing him, he will crawl away, and then I just keep on going. And it's fun because we be both laughing, chasing around the house. Even though it might feel kind of like a chores for the parents initially, especially for me, doing his tummy time, and it feels like a chores initially. But when he starts being able to crawl, I'm having a blast with him on a daily basis. So yeah, those are the 5 tips on baby crawling that me personally have experienced. I've been having a lot of fun with my kid as it is, so I just wanted to share with you guys how we engage him with his crawling. If you have any tips on getting the baby to crawl, please comment down below so we can all learn from each other. Thank you for watching. Until next time, bye.